Welcome to Media Insights, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of popular media formats. I'm Amira, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of talk shows.
And I'm Jamal. Amira, talk shows have been a staple of television for decades, but how exactly do they work?
Great question, Jamal. At its core, a talk show is a televised program centered around guest interviews. There's typically a host or a panel of hosts, and the format adheres to strict time constraints. Most talk shows run for about an hour, including commercial breaks.
That's interesting. Do these shows air live, or are they pre-recorded?
While most talk shows are filmed before a live studio audience, few actually air in real time. They're often recorded in batches and scheduled to air in the future. This allows for editing and ensures a smoother production.
I see. Can you tell us about the history of talk shows? When did they first appear?
Certainly. Talk shows have been around since the 1920s, originally starting on radio. However, the modern televised talk show format we're familiar with today really took hold in the 1960s.
What sparked this evolution in the 60s?
It was largely due to Phil Donahue. He revolutionized the format by involving the audience. Donahue would walk around with a microphone, asking audience members for their opinions on guests or current events. This move was born out of necessity. He had trouble attracting celebrities to his Dayton, Ohio studio, but it turned out to be a game changer.
That's fascinating. So, audience participation became a key element of talk shows?
Exactly. Donahue's approach not only gave audience members their moments of fame, but was also well received by viewers across the country. This format, which debuted with his show, Conversation Piece, in November 1967, has changed little since then.
What's the typical formula for a talk show?
The formula often uses controversial material or guests to prompt a public service-style discussion. However, it's worth noting that not all talk shows follow this model. Some take a more cerebral angle, focusing solely on topics like economics, politics, or literature.
Can you give an example of a more intellectual talk show?
Certainly. One notable example is Charlie Rose's show, which aired on PBS from 1970 to 2005. At its peak, it garnered more than 4 million weekly viewers, demonstrating that there's definitely an audience for more serious, in-depth discussions.
That's impressive. How has the digital age affected talk shows?
The internet has dramatically democratized the talk show format. Now, nearly anyone can host their own talk show online. For instance, This Week In is a network of web-based talk shows that include news, guest interviews, and interactive audience segments.
So we're seeing a new era of talk show options.
Absolutely. The traditional format is evolving to fit digital platforms, offering more diverse voices and topics than ever before.
What about the production side? How do talk shows create those emotional moments we often see?
You're touching on an important aspect of talk shows, the drama. Picture this: a hushed studio audience, a tearful guest on the couch, a host asking incredibly personal questions. It's all carefully orchestrated for maximum impact.
It sounds almost exploitative when you put it that way.
You're not wrong, Jamal. There's definitely an ethical dimension to consider. These emotional moments are often seen as talk show gold by producers. They know that viewers, while perhaps feeling a bit ashamed, are overwhelmingly intrigued by these raw, personal stories.
It's a fine line between entertainment and exploitation, isn't it?
Indeed it is. Talk shows often walk that line, which is why they've been both criticized and celebrated over the years. They can provide a platform for important discussions, but they can also sensationalize personal struggles for ratings.
This has been incredibly insightful, Mira. Any final thoughts on the future of talk shows?
I think we'll continue to see a diversification of the format. With online platforms, niche topics can find their audience more easily. We might also see more integration of social media and real-time audience interaction. But at their core, talk shows will likely continue to do what they've always done: spark conversations and provide a mix of entertainment and information.
Thanks for this fascinating look into the world of talk shows, Amira. To our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of Media Insights. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and keep the conversation going.